Hey, it's Marco here from Fair Realty with your November 2023 Victoria, BC real estate market update. If you watched my update last month, I said based on the data I was seeing and based on the actual transactions I was seeing on the ground, I felt like real estate prices were falling. Prices continue to fall throughout November, so let's get started with the numbers. First of all, sales, we had 394 sales. This was barely up from last year when we had 384 sales in the November of 2022. This is the only time in history since we started keeping statistics that we've had back-to-back years with Novembers with less than 400 sales. Less than 400 sales in November is very rare. It also happened in 2012. We had 366. Then it happened in 2008 during the financial crisis. We had 268. And the only other time it happened was the year 2000 at 387. If we go back 33 years, let's say to 1991, even in 1991, we had 695 sales in October. You have to keep in mind, since then, the population has grown. Housing stock inventory has grown. So when you adjust for that, sales of 394 for the month of November are very, very low. Inventory. This is kind of crazy to say because I don't feel like inventory is that high. 10, 12 years ago when I started in real estate, inventory was as high as 5,000 listings, but at 2,644 active listings, what we finished this November at, that is the highest inventory for the month of November in over 8 years. You have to go back to 2015 to see more active inventory. If this trend continues, we're gonna see quite a bit of inventory in the spring. We could probably hit 4,000 listings come May, June if this trend was to continue. As you can see on the side of the screen there, 2 years ago, we only had 887 active listings in the month of November. So inventory has definitely crept up to an 8-year high. New listings. As I've said in the last few videos, new listings over the last 12, 13 years, I haven't talked about much, but I'm starting to pay more attention. 885 new listings in the month of November. That is the highest number of new listings in the month of November since 2007. So at this point, I think it's probably safe to conclude that the high interest rates are forcing some sellers to put their properties on the market, given we're seeing a 16-year high in new listings. If you go back a couple of years, we only had 696 new listings in the month of November. Okay, now to the interesting stuff. Single family home pricing, the median fell down to 1,086,500. This is down from October. This is down from September. I'm going to post the numbers on the side of the screen here. Prices are definitely falling and trending down at this point. Simply, the interest rates are making things very unaffordable for buyers. There's less buyers out there. Inventory has increased, and this combination is putting downward pressure on prices. Same with condos. Median 522,500, down from 540, down from 559. Condo prices are also trending down because affordability has eroded. So this similar scenario happened last year. We had a very weak fall, and then for apparently no reason, things bounced back in the spring, even though interest rates were trending up, not down. It's really tough to predict or decipher what happens next. The one thing I think people have to be a bit careful about stepping back from a market when prices are falling and there's opportunity to be had as a buyer is markets can shift very, very quickly. And the only way you're ever going to know it's the bottom of the market is when prices start going back up. So right now, prices are trending down. What's also happened in the last month is the bond market has plunged almost an entire %. The banks have not passed this on to the consumer yet. But if the bond market continues in this trajectory, come springtime, we could see 5-year fixed rates below 5% yet again. At the same time, as you probably know, in the last year or two, a lot of unions have negotiated fairly decent wage increases over the next 2-3 years. So you could get a combination of prices trending down, interest rates trending down, and incomes trending up, slowly, but trending up. And at some point, the combination of these three things is going to improve affordability to the point where all of a sudden prices quickly stop dropping and they start increasing. And as I said, this is impossible to time. So right now, what I'm seeing out there is there's quite a bit of opportunity for buyers. Prices are down, sellers are willing to negotiate. You're able to negotiate conditions such as inspection, etc. Whether prices are lower or not in the fall remains to be seen. But there are a few things that are setting up for potentially a bit of a bounce back or at least stabilization in the spring, especially if interest rates start coming down. That's it for this week. Marco Juras, Fair Realty.